Hello, SOMM TV. Which camera are we looking at? You should stand up there, otherwise you're gonna look really short.
I'm still taller than you.
Well, you should be taller than me.
No, but
I don't really want to be taller than you.
Even if I'm down to stand.
I don't want to look like a giant.
Okay, I'll sit down a little bit. Go ahead. Talk about me.
And then I'll lean too.
Okay,
I don't want to be taller than you.
There you go.
Okay. I'm Leslie Frank. This is husband, Richard Frank.
Good.
Rich. Call him Rich.
She remembered that. That's good.
Yeah. He's a legend in the entertainment world. Are you becoming a legend in the wine world, too?
I don't know, but if you call me a legend, now I have to build up your side for the next introduction. But go
I'm
ahead.
fully expecting you to build up my side.
Okay.
Now, Rich is a legend in the entertainment world. He's the former president of Disney Studios. Think back to everything from Little Mermaid to Lion King and in between. This man had a lot to do with it. Prior to that, president of Paramount Television, shows like Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days, Mork and Mindy, Cheers. What am I forgetting?
Family Ties.
Family Ties.
Did you say
What else?
Mork and Mindy?
I did say Mork and Mindy.
Yeah, we had a lot of others.
Okay, you may have heard of them. They've had a little bit of success in the day.
How do I introduce my wife? This is Leslie.
She's my wife.
Leslie's from Canada. Outside.
Don't hold it against me.
I'm not. I love Canada. Was in school and studying journalism, going to go into print. That's not a face for print, ladies and gentlemen.
thank
That's
you.
a face for being on the air.
Very
and
sweet.
eventually won the Emmy for Best Anchor in Seattle. Then was hired by ABC in Los
2004.
Angeles. Leslie was reported from 9/11 in New York. She was at the one they sent to Katrina. You were O.J. Simpson in Vegas. I mean,
It's true.
when it was a big story any place in the United States, that's where they sent you. And here's the interesting story. We met up here. We were both still living in L.A., but you were just finishing covering
Michael
the
Jackson trial.
Right.
Yeah, when that all wrapped up, I came to Napa to drink some good wine. And it was that trip where I met Rich. And we met at Bouchon Bistro. I was there with my producer friend, girlfriend, and we were having a little dinner, some oysters, glass of wine at the oyster bar at Bouchon. And in walks Rich Frank, who I had no idea who he was.
Bouchon you can't get into on a Saturday night. It was crazy. I stuck my head in, and people were waiting, and I knew Tony, who was the maitre d', and I looked at him and I went, one? And he said, come on in. I came in, he said, I have one seat tonight at the oyster bar. You're gonna like it.
He sat down beside me, struck up a conversation, because as you can tell, he's very charming. And he said, if I ordered a bottle of Pinot Noir, would you ladies share it with me? And I said, well, certainly. And I thought, wow, he didn't say like, hey, can I buy you a drink? It was, if I ordered a bottle of Pinot. And I remember that was the 2004 Flowers Pinot Noir. And from that moment, well, let's just say he had me at Pinot Noir. I guess your introduction to wine really was working in the entertainment world.
Because of my title, people overseas who ran television stations always took me out to dinner, and they always bought good wines, because those were the days everybody had big expense accounts. And you couldn't look them up online at those days. And I'd always ask the SOMM to take the label off, soak it and give it to me. And then I would go back. And when I got home, I'd buy a couple more bottles if I liked it. And I just found out, like, for example, I like Bordeaux's better than Burgundies.
Then you fell in love with Napa. Buying Hans Cornell out of a bankruptcy, it was the Hans Cornell Champagne House.
Originally, when I started, it was a way to get away for a weekend and make some wine. And 18 years ago, everything burnt. It was a terrible fire. And we had to start afresh, and Todd came.
Todd Graff is our winemaker and general manager.
He was so good, it just changed our whole profile. And when you came and really took over the marketing, and you understood social media, and it changed the image of the winery. So those two events really made a big difference over the years.
So we're a good team.
I think so.
Okay.
We blind taste wine every week.
All the time.
We always put one of our wines in there so that we can see how we're doing versus the other people that are up here. But we've never done something like you've asked us to do, which is each try to buy a wine for the other one and
It's not a
see how
Frank
that
family
works.
wine.
Yeah, exactly. So
We're not sommeliers unless drinking every day, does that eventually make you a somm?
it makes you other things too.
A drunk?
I don't want you to show me up, but I will admit to everybody watching here, on the tasting part of the WSET 3 part, she beat me by a couple of points, and it's really been bothering me ever since that happened.
All right, well, you have a chance to show me up today.
Let's go sit down here. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, well, now we have to decide who's going first for this.
I'm really
Ladies
excited.
first still?
I'm really excited about the wine that I got for you. So
Okay.
can I go first?
I'm going for it, and I'm excited, and I'm nervous about this.
Harry, you want to pour that?
Sure.
You got it?
I poured more than you. There we go.
All right.
Cheers first.
Cheers. Cheers.
Well, let me just start. That color is staggering.
Isn't it?
Yes, that is amazing. It's unbelievably dense. It's a spectacular, deep wine. Look at this coating the glass already. That's And what I always tell you, can't see through it to see the bottom of the glass. So that's, I'm going to enjoy this. You know I like these kind of wines, yeah.
I think I picked a wine that will really suit your palate.
Ooh, that's nice.
Ooh, in a good way, right?
Yes. Is a bad way.
Right.
Ooh is a good thing. No, sir. I get a ton of dark berries on this. I can sit here and smell this all afternoon. You did very well. I can tell you now, even if I don't get close to guessing it, this is fantastic.
All right. So give me some descriptors. Dark berries.
I would get blackberries, blueberries, black currant, all the dark blackberries.
Cassis.
Yeah. But not over. I would say just from the look at this, this is not a brand new wine, but this is not a really old wine. It's still got everything there. I mean, just look at the edges. I'm going to enjoy this. All right, I'm going to taste it now. Here we
can
go.
taste now.
Yeah. Still pretty tannic. It's got good acid to it. And
Are we into region-wise? Old world, new world?
I don't think you can get fruit like this in Europe. I just don't. And I think the rest of the world, short of, if you had picked out something here from Penfolds or something down in that area, I don't think this is Malbec, where you get from South America. I would say this is a cab or a cab blend, and I would go more towards, it's a big cab, so it's hard to even tell if it's blended.
So you talked about the tannins. It's got those grippy tannins.
Definitely, but they're rounded, but it's not like they're not there. Chewy almost.
Mm-hmm. But still very pronounced fruit.
It is. I'm trying to. I'll go again. I don't think it's Oregon or Washington. I think this is. It's a California, and I think it's a Napa or Sonoma wine. And I would have thought before this you would have tried to fool me with something from someplace else, but I do think this is from our world over here, someplace.
You're sure about that?
No, I'm not sure about it. You know, I said you beat me in the blind tastings with the WSET. I'm just
with
saying,
distinction.
Yeah, I think it's one of what I would call a cab blend up here. Something that's...
so you're leaning, you think it's a Cabernet?
Absolutely.
Absolutely?
Yeah,
You're sure?
It could be
There's prize money on the line.
No,
Are you sure you want to go with that?
It could be a Syrah, but I think it's got more tannins than a Syrah would have.
Are you sure it's Napa?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think about Napa, Sonoma. And then I'm trying to think about you, what you might do.
We had this wine together, and we shared it with friends. Maybe I'm giving away too much information. We both had a wow moment.
It's a wow wine. It's terrific. I think it's a Napa. I think it's a Cabernet or a Cabernet blend. I think it could be from one of the great early vintages of this. It's not an old wine. It's not a brand new wine.
All right, so give me an approximate year, vintage.
I would say, knowing you, it may be a 12. But it could also be a 14, and I don't think it's any newer than that. That's my
Why do you
guess.
say 12?
Because that was the first great year. It was also...
Why else was it great, Rich?
We got married that year. Did I remember that part? Okay. It was also the year we bought the Benjamin Vineyard,
Right.
which we bought when we were on our honeymoon
in Italy.
In Italy,
Right.
right, exactly.
Which would make sense because we had our honeymoon in Italy that I could have given you an Italian wine.
I would have guessed ahead of time that you would have gotten a Sangiovese or something.
That would have been
from
too predictable.
Tuscany.
I will say, at the very beginning, when you first started talking about the wine, you were so close. You were so close.
I'm old enough that
All
I
right,
don't
we gotta
remember what I said 5 minutes ago. Okay,
Okay.
You're almost there. You're almost pushing me towards a 2012 Colgan Syrah or something like that.
Assuming we're talking Napa.
Yeah, assuming we're talking Napa, but I don't know.
All right, well, we
Can
gotta
I
taste.
guess in a minute after you
You can
taste
guess in a
mine?
minute. Now I gotta taste your wine.
Okay. Allow me to pour it for you.
Well, when you look at the two wines side by side, this is definitely a paler wine. Now, it's... Okay. This is... It's not a really young wine. It's not a really old wine either. I would say this is maybe... Did you get a 2012 as well?
Oh, was I right on the 12? Oh, you gave me
I actually think
away.
this is older than a 12. I think it's older than a 12.
Okay, you're in the right direction.
Okay, I think it's older than a 12. I'm gonna go back to, well, let me taste it first.
Yeah. What do you think about the nose on it?
I think I'm definitely getting a little bit of some tertiary notes on the nose.
Yep. What would that tell you?
It would tell me that it has a little more age on it.
That's right. You're moving in the right direction. What's the grape?
Wow. Is that a Pinot Noir?
Maybe.
It's definitely not Cab.
Okay.
I would say it's Pinot.
Okay.
Now you're gonna ask me where it's from.
Yeah. Is it a Pinot from here? Is it a Burgundy? Is it?
It still has a lot of fruit. It's got still some pretty prominent fruit in it. Still got some nice acid, good length. Still going, still going. So I'm gonna say Pinot Noir. I'm gonna say New World. I'm gonna guess that it might be a Sonoma Pinot Noir,
Very
maybe
good.
Russian River. I'm still getting some bright red fruit in this, so I'm getting some cranberry, some strawberry, some sour cherry. again, it's still got the acid, it's still got the length in this wine. So I just, but I don't think it's that young because I'm getting those tertiary notes on the nose.
It's drinking younger than it is, I can tell you that.
It's drinking younger than it is.
Yeah,
okay.
I hadn't opened this before.
Because I'm definitely getting.
I know what it is, and it's drinking way younger than it is. All right, we're getting near the end. You got.
All right,
you gotta throw
I'm
out
going
something.
to say it is 2000, somewhere between like 2008, 2010, Pinot, Russian River. I gotta pick a vintage though, don't I?
30 seconds.
2010 Pinot Noir from Russian River. You want to change your call, Rich?
What did I say?
Do you have any wine left in yours?
If I had to take money on the table to like a roulette wheel, I could tell you that this could be insignia. This could be.
Really look at the color.
You're really pushing me on this color.
All right. When you first tasted the wine, you said Penfolds.
Yes. It was Penfolds.
Not any Penfolds.
No, Grange. I
Right.
got it.
2012.
We did. This is
A fantastic
yes.
vintage.
Yes.
They had optimal growing conditions. Grange, their flagship wine. I mean, this is a wow wine. This is.
I just didn't think you'd spend that much on me for a blind tasting.
I put it on your credit
I
card.
was trying to guess. I mean.
Well, you mean I didn't?
Okay,
You didn't
I was
spend
gonna
that much on me?
I was gonna share this with the crew, but I'm keeping it as for dinner. This is like ridiculous.
Okay,
right,
I saw the cruise pour. Okay, when Arvin said I need to taste the wine, I'm like, that's not a taste.
No, well,
Yeah.
that's a fantastic. We
it's a
did have that.
fantastic
It's
bottle,
phenomenal.
right.
It's hard to pick the Grange out of all the rest, and
So this is Shiraz.
It is, it is.
98%
I said it,
Shiraz,
yeah.
2% Cabernet Sauvignon. It's, I think, honestly, don't tell Todd, our winemaker, or do tell Todd, he'll agree. I think technically this is like a perfect
I
wine.
think Grange, because you very rarely have it because nobody's drinking that way all the time, unless I guess you've gone public on the stock market lately. But this is quite a bottle, and it's phenomenal, and anybody'd like to make anything of that.
So do you know why I picked this
You threw
wine?
me off because it's very similar to a big Napa cab.
Well, I wanted to get out of Napa because I figured you know Napa, and we drink so many of our neighbors' wines,
Yeah.
including our own Cabernet. I know that you love Caymus Special Select,
I
which
do.
is a little bit of sweetness, right?
Yeah.
So I thought the Grange, it has just that little bit of sweetness. And
I knew it
I
wasn't.
thought that this would really suit your
I knew
palate.
it wasn't Caymus because it wasn't. It would have had to
Wasn't-
have one more
right,
step further
sure.
on this. On,
But I
on
thought
the
this
big
really
fruity
suit
flavor.
your palate.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with this wine.
Okay, you ready for this one? What was your final guess?
You
were
of
very
which
close.
wine? I don't know. It's not a William Salium.
No, it's not. I got very close. This happens to be the wine I bought you that night
Oh my gosh. How could I have
at Bouchon. This is the 04 Flowers.
Oh my goodness.
It's from their
I should have
Francis
known.
Thompson vineyard. I can't guarantee that that's the one that was the vineyard they have, but it's
Okay,
from
Sonoma Coast.
County. It's
Sonoma
the
Coast, yeah.
and it's up in the hills.
2004
and
Flowers.
It's the 4, yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
so
there.
romantic.
I didn't expect you to remember that you drank this that many years ago.
Well, I
'Cause
remember
think that
when
was 06?
06,
Yeah.
2006, when we first met.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so romantic.
There you
Thank you
go.
for that.
And this we will share with
I will
everybody. so
say,
they can
though,
see,
this has-
they could see what
this
I
is
threw out
drinking-
there to get you to come inside
This
the
is
tent here.
drinking. This is the wine, yeah, that you sold me on. It's great. No,
It's
that's
great.
fantastic. But you're right. It does. It is drinking much younger than it is.
Yeah.
I
great.
remember the night that we opened this wine, and we were with good friends, and we were drinking this wine over dinner. And I looked at you and I said, "Oh my God, this wine is so fantastic. Why are we sharing it with them? We should have just kept this for ourselves.
And now you know why, because you said you haven't been to Australia.
No, I haven't been to Australia.
I've been there and all around down there.
Barossa Valley, McLaren Vale, where the grapes come from.
When we are
South
finally
Australia.
released from our jail cells at Coach,
After
our
COVID.
homes,
Yeah.
we're gonna head there first. I just want
I
to get
can't
down
wait.
to that part. I wish, you know, remember, we were scheduled to be right now at the America's Cup.
In New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
Right. I thought of getting you a New Zealand wine, but I know you're not a huge fan of the Sauvignon Blancs, and I think that
A huge fan puts it
Puts
way
it-
mild. Like,
yes,
I
that's
can't
being polite, isn't
stand
it? Right.
Sauvignon Blanc.
right. Rich is not a Sauv Blanc guy.
No.
No.
It tastes like grapefruit juice.
Yeah.
But it's why we don't make it. We only make what we like.
This was fun.
This was great. Thank everybody for inviting us to come, and
Thanks for picking a great wine.
we're available again next week.